Alright, so if you watched my last video, I went on record saying that I would make a video on who I think are the 6 most likely potential newcomers. Thankfully, this shouldn't be as long as it's mere speculation and discussion, but I actually wanted to own up to a promised video. For once. Oh, and please be aware that this is about newcomers slash Echo Fighters, cause I don't really think we'll get that many. I just think the ones that we will get will be of a pretty high quality. Alright, let's begin. First up, it may be a little too soon to put this, but after playing Xenoblade 2, Rex and Pyra shot up as my most wanted newcomers in Smash. For those who haven't played it yet, no, Rex would not just be an Echo Fighter of Shulk, the way he battles is just way too different. Instead, with the reintroduction of fighter swapping, it makes so much sense to have Rex switch between Pyra and Mythra. Pyra could give Rex quick, weaker attacks in the air, while Mythra would be able to provide the necessary KO strength on the ground. An obvious final smash would be to just redo the chain attack with XC2 characters, or a more spoiler-intensive one would be to use Pyra's special ability she gets in Chapter 8. Yeah, the game may have came out too recently to fully cement him into the roster, but Sakurai has stated that he did enjoy the game, and we could have another Greninja situation where they were developed before their game released. I just really want these guys in. Not that I would be fully intent on maining them, but given the limited options that Sakurai has to choose from the first party characters now, I don't see why not. Alright, so Splatoon 2's Octo expansion was leagues better than the main game. There was this nice level of challenge to everything, and the story was far more interesting. That's why I want the Octolings to be included as Echo Fighters. Unlike Rex and Pyra, all the Octolings need to be are simple model swaps with some slight variation in their move properties. I know Echoes don't take long to make, so these would really be a nice bonus if they got in. Besides, I prefer Ebb and Flow over the Calamari Incantation any day. Originally, I was gonna give King K. Rool this spot. He's highly requested, beloved throughout the community, and even a costume in Smash 4. But you know what? This is my video, and I want to advocate Marx. Not that one. This one. Alright, so out of the plethora of Kirby characters, why this one? Why not, let's say, Bandana D? As much as I would enjoy his inclusion, Bandana D is just a tad too plain for my tastes. We're not talking about him though, so let's discuss why Marx is plausible. In all honesty, out of the characters I'm discussing here, Marx is by far the least likely to happen, even more so than my 5th entry, but he's really the only obscure one I want to talk about. Yes, he is a popular Kirby villain, but not apparently in comparison to Magolor, who wins in the popular vote. Although you know how much Sakurai likes to put in his own characters. Again, this doesn't mean that I want X character in over Y, it just means that this is my top pick from that series. Marx has a ton of moveset potential from his boss fight and the recently released Kirby Star Allies. I know that matters very little as Smash has been in development far longer, just think of him as a potential DLC candidate. Maybe. Probably not. But I will always root for him in the background. Oh, and for the record, I really did want to put King K. Rool on this list, I just didn't have enough personal experience with him, nor the footage necessary. For these next two, I was kind of on the fence about choosing one over the other, so I'll take either one. Look, I know that Sonic has many characters in the 27 years he's been around, and even though I think other characters do have more moveset potential, it just makes sense to put in Shadow or Metal Sonic as Echo Fighters. Because of their close relation to the Blue Blur, it would make sense that they would play this way. Shadow would obviously be the more exciting to see playable, but Metal could be that somewhat slower, heavy hitter for people that think Sonic is too fast to play. I know they're bumping up that speed, so you better look out. This one is a more solemn inclusion, so let's cut down on the happy music. In 2015, former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata passed away due to complications with his bile duct. He was loved across all corners of the gaming world and impacted so many lives in many positive ways. The first game he made was Balloon Fight, which is why I think that Sakurai may include Balloon Fighter as a character. Yes, he is represented in Villagers Up Special, just like how people thought Little Mac was represented by his neutral attack. I'm saying that it doesn't matter. If Sakurai wanted to include Balloon Fighter, he very well can. It would take some serious creative work, but I can see Sakurai's mind using the electricity in the flight stage as a special attack, or bring out that fish as a grab. This is all just theoretical, but if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I have to be honest with you, when thinking up the 3 Echo Fighters, a friend suggested that a character with more significance but less notoriety be an Echo Fighter. Not wanting a pre-Ultimate Ganondorf situation, I brushed off the idea. Echo Fighters, for all intensive purposes, are supposed to be similar characters to their base fighter, which add to the roster without taking development away from the others. I firmly believe this philosophy, and that's why I won't put Waluigi on this list. However, I did encounter a problem when looking at all our characters. Who is important enough that they should be in the game, but too similar as a fighter to do such? You know, I've never played a Metroid Prime game, but I have an idea. Dark Samus is, as far as I'm aware, the only other logical fighter I could draw from the series we know are in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yes, she does have the potential to be different from her base fighter, all clones do actually, but the truth is, they aren't. Like I said, I'm rather unfamiliar with the Metroid franchise, but Dark Samus could work so well it's not even funny. This is kind of a weird note to end on though, so let's try one more. Given the very weird grounds Nintendo is on with Square Enix, I must admit it was quite the shock to see Cloud get into Smash 4, and while Sora will always be my never gonna happen but would totally main if he was in character, the circumstances were more so the allowance of Tetsuya Nomura giving Sakurai the privilege of putting Cloud in the game. Like I said, Sora will always be the number 1 in my heart, but just given the likelihood of a certain other character, I'm going to predict that Geno will be the final character revealed for the game. Super Mario RPG is a highly regarded game, and after playing it some years back, I understand why. It was the start of Mario games containing deeper stories with unique and charming characters. It had a fun and interactive battle system with some great songs to boot, but above all else, it had Geno. Probably the most overall requested character for Smash Bros. Since third parties were introduced. Has he had a main purpose in any game since? No. Does Square care? No. But he has been in 3 games since his debut, one of which was Smash 4, so why not put him in? What do you think? Am I some crazy fool for asking for this guy nearly 20 years after his prime, or do you think he has a sliver of a chance? Let me know in the comments below along with your predictions for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thanks for watching, and until we meet again.